All right, welcome to our third day in our Chapter 1 Sales Expo class. Today we are going to be looking at multiplying and dividing real numbers. Our main focus for this lesson is to work on multiplying. Tomorrow we are going to work mostly on dividing. All right, to start with, as always, if you could please fill out our objective. Today we are going to find products and quotients of real numbers. Now, reminder, our quick vocab review. The word product, our main focus today, product means to multiply. So today we are going to be finding the products of numbers, meaning we are going to multiply numbers. Today would be a very good day to have a calculator on hand and also to have your multiplication table. So the first thing we're going to talk about is when we are multiplying numbers, today we're going to have positives and negatives. Because if you remember, we talked about real numbers in our last lesson. And real numbers include positives and negatives. So we're going to see those throughout today. We're also going to see whole numbers. We're going to also see fractions and decimals. So when we are finding the product, or we're going to multiply two real numbers with the same sign, our answer is always going to be positive. So if you have a positive times a positive, like this example right here, you are going to have a positive answer. On the flip side of that, if you have two negatives and you multiply them, you are going to have a positive answer. That's always important to keep in mind. I know a lot of us are like thinking, you just told us to have a calculator. Well, sometimes our calculator doesn't know all the time what to do properly with negatives, and also if you put it into your calculator wrong, your calculator is going to give you the wrong answer with positives and negatives. Now, if you have the product of two numbers with different signs, this time your answer is going to be negative. So, for example, if I have a positive times a negative here, your answer is going to be negative. And if it was flipped, if that 2 this time is negative and that 3 was positive, we're going to get a negative. All right. So here we go. Let's jump into some examples. So again, I am perfectly fine if you use a calculator, if you use your multiplication table, use all of those tools to help you out. All right, so for this first one, I have a positive times a negative, so I'm already just going to write my negative. I already know that. So in my calculator, I'm going to take 12 times 8, and you could leave out the negative since we just talked about it, or you can certainly plug it in to double check yourself. It's up to you. So when I take positive 12 times negative 8, I'm going to get negative 96. Okay. On this next one, I have a positive times a positive. So again, I know I'm going to have a positive. And again, let's use our calculator. I'm going to take 24 times 0.5, and I'm going to get 12. Okay. I think as you guys can see today, it's going to be kind of quick. All right, so this one, I know what you're thinking. You're like, Bayles, there are exponents, and we said we're multiplying. Well, remember, exponents really means we are multiplying. So I'm actually going to rewrite this. When I have negative 3 squared, what that really means is I have negative 3 times a negative 3. Now, since I have a negative times a negative, I know my answer is going to be positive, and 3 times 3 is going to give us positive 9. Now, this next one, again, I have an exponent, but I'm really going to rewrite this so it's multiplication. So this negative 3 to the third, what that really means is negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. So let's do this. We just did this. If I take these two, if I multiply these two negative 3's, negative 3 times negative 3 is going to give me positive 9. I'm going to bring down this negative 3 here. So now I have positive 9 times negative 3. So I know I'm going to have a negative. I'm going to have negative 27. Now this is something we are going to see later in different chapters. Notice I had an even number on this one, and I got a positive because I had a negative times a negative. Notice 3 is odd, so when I took a negative times a negative times a negative, I ended up with a negative. That is a pattern we will see Reminder, if I am going too fast, take a moment and pause. All right, I'm going to flip on to the next page. We are going to review multiplying fractions. I already have these filled in. We're going to do this in 3 steps. Whenever you are multiplying, you are always going to cross-reduce. You're going to multiply the top to the top, the bottom to the bottom. And whenever you have fractions, I'm going to kind of start this because this is always our most important step. You are always going to simplify your fractions. That's always a step you're going to do. All right, here we go. Let's do this. So the very first thing, I'm going to cross-reduce. So I'm looking for numbers that I can divide out of each other. So if I'm looking here, I'm looking at this -3, this 2. There's not a number that I can divide into both of those. I'm going to look at this 4 and this 1. There's not a number I can divide into both of those. So I cannot cross-reduce on this one. So now what I'm going to do is I'm multiplying across. I'm going top to top, bottom to bottom. So we just reviewed this. I'm going to take -3 times +1. So because of that, I'm going to get -3. On bottom, I'm going to do 4 times 2, which is going to be 8. I'm looking, can I simplify it? Can I reduce this? Maybe I didn't reduce as much as I should before. I can't simplify this anymore. I am done. Now, a reminder, in the last lesson, we talked about adding and subtracting fractions. Adding and subtracting fractions need to have the same bottom. When you're multiplying, you do not. So that's why I actually multiplying fractions is like one of my favorite things. All right, so when I have this problem here, I'm always going to kind of extend that so that negative is actually with that 7. I'm going to include that negative up there with that 7. Now again, I'm looking, can I reduce something on this 7 and this 3? I cannot. Can I reduce something on this 10 and this 5? I can. I know 5 can go into 5. I know 5 can go into 10. So on both of these, I'm going to cross-reduce, or I'm going to divide out a 5. So when I take 5 divided by 5, I'm going to be left with 1. So this 5 is going to become a 1. When I take 10 divided by 5, I'm going to be left with 2. So as you can see here now, our numbers are going to be smaller and easier to work with. So now I'm going to multiply straight across. I have this -7, and I'm going to multiply it to this 1. When I do that, I'm going to have -7. On this bottom, I now have 2 times 3, and we're going to have 6. I'm going to look again. Can I simplify this more? Can I reduce this more? I can't divide anything from 7 and 6, so we are done. Now, if you do want to get a little bit crazy, I'm perfectly fine if you leave this as 7, 6. You could also, if you want, 6 can go into 7 once, so you could write this as -1 and 6. I am perfectly fine, though, if you leave this as -7, 6. All right, I'm going to have you pause this video. I'm going to have you try these problems on your own and show me what you've learned. All right, I'm going to assume you listened to me, you paused, you tried, and now let's see how you did. All right, so from our very beginning page, this 2, remember, means there are 2 of them. So I'm really going to rewrite this as no, I'm not. That negative goes on the outside. Oops, oops, oops. Sorry, everyone. That negative is on the outside. So what I really have is 2 7s times 2 7s. I'm going to look. Can I take something from the 2 and the 7? Can I take something from the 2 and the 7? I can't. There's nothing that divides into both of those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just multiply straight across. We know that 2 times 2 is 4, and 7 times 7 is 49. Now again, I'm hoping everyone notices, oh wait, there's this negative that's chilling out in front. So what we're going to do is that it's just going to go out in front of our column here. So our final answer is -4 over 49. All right, this one here, I have a negative times a negative, so we know we're going to have a positive. We're going to look, can I cross-reduce anything? We can. This one we can cross-reduce stuff on both the tops and the bottoms. So So right here I have a 2 and a 2. Well, I can divide out a 2. So 2 divided by 2 up here is going to leave us with -1 since we have a negative there. And this 2 is just going to leave us with a +1. I also have an 11 and 11, so they're both divisible by 11. So this 11 is going to become 1, and this 11 is going to become -1. So again, what we're going to do is we're just going to multiply straight across. I have a -1 times -1, so a negative times a negative is just going to give us 1. On bottom, I have 1 times 1, which is going to give us 1. Now, we could certainly stop here. I would say this is correct, but to be honest, now that we are in high school, this kind of looks a little gross. So a 1 over 1 just gives us 1. I would prefer you write it like that since we are in high school now. All right, so that is it for today. Again, I want you to take a moment, reflect on what we just did. What did we learn today? What are some things that were new? Review. What do you have to work on? Also, a reminder to scale yourself. 0 meaning you have a lot of work to do. 4 meaning you really understand this. Reminder, be honest with yourself. And again, if you need to rewatch parts if I went too fast, make sure you are pausing as we need it. All right, thank you.